This is probably going to turn into a long video, so if you got the 3-second attention span, perhaps you should go watch some TikTok. I wanted to do some 2 and 3 color printing vases. 3D Print Bunny just came out with some new models, and I was interested in printing those on this machine. But I wanted to change the nozzle, and that started a bunch of fun stuff. This is the nozzle that came out of there. This is kind of important too. I should talk about that in a minute. So I started removing this nozzle, and it was very tight. It was very stiff to get out. You know, which really shouldn't be the case, because I like to change my nozzles quite often. You know, whether I just wanted to go to like a bigger size for a project like this, or whatever. You know, sometimes you want to print faster or whatever. But anyways, this is a 0.4 nozzle. So it was a little bit stiff to get out. And I replaced it with something like this, a 0.6 nozzle. And this nozzle happened to be a little bit longer. I'm going to have to trace down some of these. These are the Creality style nozzles. I'm not even sure what opening sizes they have available, but I'm going to order some more of these. But anyways, I put in a slightly longer nozzle, and when you do that, you have to adjust your Z offset in your settings. I think the previous setting was like 0.2, minus 0.2. Right now I'm at minus 1.20. So I had to, lift the printer up slightly, lift the probe setting up slightly, so that I can start printing with my 0.6 nozzle, which I will very shortly. You can actually see the opening there. I did some other modifications to my machine, trying to get it to print better. There's some little Z artifacts that I don't like, so I put some cork Z motor dampeners on there, and also changed these, which I don't think maybe this is the right choice. You know, this gives you a little bit of flexibility in your Z tolerances. I might end up changing that. Just tracing down some little Z artifacts that I don't like. I print real high quality, and artifacts are not good. But anyways, I'm going to give you guys a little quick lesson in 2 or 3 color printing. This happens to be a 3-color plastic. There's copper, silver, and gold. And you can see that came out very nice. And then there's also a blue and red, nice transition. A lot of times you'll see people printing or posting their pictures of 2-color or 3-color plastic. The 3-color is more newer, so maybe not seeing as much pictures there, but you'll see a lot of prints with the colors dragged into each other. Real mess, because what people are not doing is setting up their printer for printing like this. What you need to do is first go to a bigger nozzle. This happens to be a 0.6, and what that does is it keeps your plastic from being forced out of a tiny hole and mixing as it's actually traveling down to that opening. So you're taking a 1.75 millimeter plastic and trying to squeeze it out of a little hole. In that nozzle, actually, there's some mixing going on. And then they also try to print, complex models. Oh, this would be so nice if it was blue and red. Wouldn't it? Blue and a half, red. But no, this is a complex model with complex shapes. There's Z-lifts. There's, retractions. There's a lot of stuff going on in this model that doesn't happen in a model like this. You can't really successfully get a nice two-color separation in a complex model. Because actually every time you retract that filament, now you have that mixing occurring again, and then it's going to push it out. Your plastic's going to start mixing in the nozzle, getting really not the results you want. Also, like I said, the larger opening size, maybe even a 0.8, which I've printed vases in. It gives you a nice thick wall. You don't have to worry about your vase coming apart, pulling apart. But, you wouldn't want to print this in a 0.8 nozzle, because then, it wouldn't look the same, would it? So, if you're going to try to play with 2 or 3 color prints, don't get over creative and think you're going to end up with something special, because you're not. You're going to end up something with the colors dragged all through one to the other, retractions going on. I made a YouTube video that shows that very well, but this came out very nice. Originally I seen this on my printer and I was like, oh, that's a nice gold, but then I remember it was a 3-color filament, so you see the nice color transition there. And we're going to do something like this on the Sovol SV06. Yeah. But anyways, vase mode is one continuous line. There is no retraction, so you don't have your filament pulling back up into your nozzle and mixing, It's just extruded out, nice steps. There's no layer changes. There's no change on your layer retraction. There's it's just outputting plastic. You get good results. This happens to be filament by Vase. This is another 3-color. This is a red, a blue, and gold. What do we got here? We got blue, red, and green. This is not a commercial for them. Green, yellow, orange. Oh, a lot of stuff going on with that one. Might be good for Christmas ornaments. And then I think this is a blue, green, and red. So we're going to be playing with those on this printer once we get it all set up again. Took me a while to get everything tuned in. I'm not used to working with probes, so I had to figure all that stuff out. But I think it's now trimmed and the distance is set right. So I'm going to start this up and we'll print one of these here. That's about it for now, people. This machine is pretty good. There's some things about this I'm kind of working the bugs out on. Even looking at the parts, the heater block, the thermistors. I try to get a replacement thermistor just to have them in stock. I like to have stuff in stock. And, I talked to the technician. He said, oh, it all comes in one piece, the heater block, the heater and the thermistor. And nozzle, of course. If you ever think you're going to be changing your nozzles from 0.4, nozzles get plugged up and all that heavy stuff too. So, you might want to consider pulling your nozzle out, putting a little anti-seize or something on there before you start getting into some heavy printing. This machine doesn't have much time on it, and like I said, there's little difficulty getting this nozzle out. You can see there's kind of a little filament on the thread, and I think there was actually a little gap. You can see that glossiness there. I think there was a gap between the nozzle and heat break, which probably started plastic leaking out the bottom. I know there was some plastic at the top of my heater block also, so I never actually checked to make sure this was tight. I just assumed he did, that it was. So anyways, get past it, you know. I'm going to try to find some of these nozzles, and I ordered another heat block assembly just to keep in stock. I'm sure there's something going to go wrong with this eventually in the way I print. You know, I don't just print. I typically do some experimental stuff, or at least push my printer to different levels that a lot of people wouldn't want to get involved with or have the time to do. So that's about it. Just a little few tips on printing in 2 or 3 color plastics. 3D Print Bunny, she has a Patreon, and she does give away her models for free. All of these are available for free, but if you feel like supporting her, she does have a Patreon, which I am a member of also. So take care. Happy printing. Thanks for sticking around for 11 minutes. If you're one of those people, you know, thumbs up. You don't have that 3-second attention span.